What
Yes.
up? What up? What up? We're back. We're back.
Don't eat the yellow
So,
snow.
don't eat the yellow snow. That's the advice of the day. Yeah, why did you need to say that just so badly today? You, you've been saying it all day, and now you just had to say it on the air, did you? You just had to let it out, didn't you?
Hi
Don't eat
ho.
yellow
Hi
snow.
ho. Don't eat the yellow snow. I'm sorry, I just don't like the movie.
Well,
I have
speaking of
nothing.
the hi ho, that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Today's topic.
Okay.
Today's topic for the day. Disney has put out this new film, and it seems to be like all over the internet. Snow White. I don't even think that the whole title has the seven dwarves in the new name. But the big thing is they took the movie and they instilled the woke spirit once more, as opposed to the normal Caucasian female, which this is not a racist issue. This is Snow White. They cast it with the intention of casting somebody of a
Yeah.
different ethnicity. And then they went on to remove the dwarf idea, uh, as I'm understanding now. Don't quote me on this, but as I'm hearing in all the news reports, it was Peter Dinklage that really went to the table and was like, we need to get away from that because of the fairy tale fantasy type dwarfism thing. And he wanted to just go with regular height characters, which there's video out there and pictures of the original cast being Peter Dinklage with six other normal height characters. A little bit of the little people community started coming down on him about it. So they recast it.
Yes.
And when they recast it and did a CGI character. Now, this I found very, very interesting. As I began trying to research which CGI company did the CGI effects for it and designed the character, they've really got that wrapped up. And if anybody is watching this, I would be curious to know what company did it because just because, I mean, there's a lot of controversy going on about that right now. And so something my own thoughts is, and then someone open the floor to you, my friend. I feel you and I, doing that kind of entertaining in our past life of entertaining being various aspects of acting. The CGI characters are insulting to us
Yeah.
because this was an open door that we could have gotten in there and we could have shown what we have the capability of doing
Right. A
Yes.
lot
as
of little
entertainers.
people could have. A lot of little people could have got employed and
Most
represented
definitely.
in this movie, and instead they use CGI. And
Yes,
so I
sir.
think that's a missed opportunity for all little people, with,
Yeah.
especially actors in the little people world.
You got a
That would have been
whole.
wonderful.
Uh, so, Jeremy, you being a normal height guy, my question to you in this topic is, how do you see it? I mean, do you see it as, and nah, I don't really see nothing wrong with the CGI side. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Okay, I see twice, two different things. One, the CGI I get, and in some aspects, because maybe they're trying to save money. I don't know, really, but it was poorly done. I'll tell you that right now. The CGI completely was poorly done. Now, on the other side, there are a lot of starving, upcoming new actors that are out there that could have had it, could have had their shine. And from what I was understanding, Mr. Peter Dinklage, I guess is how you say his last name. I didn't want to,
Yes, sir.
mess it up, but didn't want to share the fame. And I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
Well,
I
my opinion is like, how are you going to diss on it and still be in it? I mean, how you gonna have all that negative, talk about it, not even promote it, and then be in it to be like, oh, it's horrible that they used the CGI character, and then be a character in the movie.
uh,
Right?
to my understanding on that, Jeff, is that um, it's his voice for the CGI.
Yeah,
Now, I was going to go see it today, but everything in this world come up, so I did not get a chance. But to my understanding, they use his voice over the CGI, but
Yes,
I can't confirm that.
voiceover. Yeah.
Well, if
So,
you're gonna go watch it, you better bring some toilet paper because I think it's gonna be a big poop emoji.
Yeah.
So I got a
Yeah.
couple videos. I got a
Fart
couple
pack, fart pack.
videos. I got a couple videos that I want to review, and let's discuss each video. And after we get done with this first video, we got loaded up. Let's discuss a little and see what others' thoughts are on that. Because right now in the internet world, especially YouTube, it's amazing how many YouTubers are really saying it's thumbs down on this movie. That Disney really messed up on this. And us in the little people community, hear us. We could have represented that movie a lot better.
Oh, most definitely. The only thing pretty
All
about
right,
that,
so
the only thing
so
pretty
let's
about the
go.
whole movie was Rachel Ziegler. That's it. It's like,
Don't give
Yeah,
her
it's like,
but even that though, in some extent, we've got to get away from this woke attitude. It goes so long. It's who's best for the job.
I don't like it, but
Who
it's
best
art.
fits.
It's art. I mean,
She is a
I mean,
beautiful actress. I will agree.
yeah. They didn't make the
Uh,
movie for any other reason than to piss everybody off, I think.
yeah, it's a constant diversity thing. You know, it's constant us against you thing. A woke culture.
Why can't we
So
just be friends?
we can. All right, let's watch this video. Let's see what this video is all about. And we'll take one look at the YouTuber. I believe this YouTuber. Let's give him props. I hope he doesn't mind, but it's Jeremy John. Be sure to stop by and tell him we shared his page.
Then after she's done being the dwarf's therapist, which again did work for, I felt was a touching moment for Dopey, she leaves the dwarves. Okay, you remember that picture in which it was like, hey, here are the substitutes for the 7 dwarves that aren't going to be 7 dwarves? But the internet, and I'm paraphrasing here, internet said, how about not? Much to my surprise, those folks are still in this film. She runs across these bandits. Those are the bandits. She hangs out with them for a bit, and now I'm in a completely different film. This movie, it was in this Snow White film. The bandits were going to be the substitute for the dwarves. The internet, again, paraphrasing, said, how about not? Studio panicked, refilmed scenes with the dwarves, and now you have 2 different versions of this film just colliding head on. Or this film, as it stands, dwarves and bandits both being in here, was always how it was planned to be, but they released this picture to fabricate internet outrage because internet's gonna do what internet does, and no press is bad press. I don't know. I'll probably never know, but you can't help but see that Snow White and the 7 Dwarves and Snow White and the 7 Bandits are 2 different feeling films that are almost in competition on screen. I mean, the bandits don't have any real character. They're just there. And you feel like that's not supposed to be the case because one bandit references another bandit by name. And you're just like, I don't know who that is. And the way it's executed, you said that like I'm supposed to.
They've taken a classic as such, and they've allowed this new culture that is offended by everything to ruin it. Don't remake it then. That's why the theaters are empty right now. The one thing that I noticed in the other evening when watching the videos my own self was that the whole entire world was really banding against it. One gentleman, he had a YouTube up and he scanned the theater, and there was only 2 other people in the theater.
Oh, wow.
So they've taken a hit. They've had to have taken a hit on it.
Wonder how many people are going to try to pirate that one.
Interesting thought, yeah. But you know, I saw one of the producers did put up a banner a little bit. It kind of made me laugh. But like, I just don't think they gave it the proper name. And if they were going to rename it, I don't know. What was that name you put up earlier? Put it back up again. And yeah,
I
7
don't need the yellow snow. I voted for
No,
donate
we're
the yellow
not.
snow.
Jeff, we understand you wanted to call the movie that.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to name a movie Don't Eat the Yellow Snow.
Well, it might as well.
Hey,
I
load
mean,
up-
even left the
load up
7
internet.
dwarfs out.
I say rest in peace, Snow White. 1937 to 2025. Much respect to you. You were awesome. You were great, but they murdered you.
Yeah.
They murdered the crap out of you.
And you didn't even see it coming.
Right.
All right, so I want to get deeper into this. We want to bring up another video, but let's go to break. And I don't know. I'm so angry about that they could have done this so much better. Even like I said with Snow White, the whole love story. It's the way the culture is taking this now. Let's go to break, and we'll get back into this.
About 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man? They're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White. Yeah. 7 dwarves. It makes no sense to me.
A few moments later.
Disney had the great opportunity to cast people like very talented actors like ourselves.
Yeah, I've been in the entertainment game for 20 years.
That's 7 roles right there.
Yeah.
7 little people that could have filled those roles. And unfortunately, you were shut out of that.
We're trying to get an Oscar too. What up?
Are you ready for a fairy tale gone wrong? Disney's remake of Snow White has been stirring up controversy, and it's not just because of the classic tale's problematic elements. The studio is now facing criticism from little people actors who are upset about the decision to use computer-generated imagery instead of real dwarfs in the film. The controversy began when Disney decided to replace live-action dwarf actors with computer-generated imagery, sparking concerns from little people actors who felt they were being deprived of employment opportunities. The Hollywood Reporter initially reported that Disney had changed their plans, but later amended their article to state that CGI dwarfs were the original intention. This has led to significant doubts about Disney's control over media storylines. Actress Ali Chapman, known for her role in Little Women in LA, criticized Disney for opting for computer-generated imagery rather than using live actors. She argued that the film should feature genuine dwarves, and that Disney's decision to use CGI essentially blocked short-statured individuals from 7 significant roles. The increasing criticism is fueling a strong reaction against Disney's management of the 7 Dwarfs, as people argue that it contradicts their progressive image by replacing actual short-statured actors in favor of animated characters. Did you hear about the dwarf who went to a psychiatrist? He was just a little nuts.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that video right there, I think that video right there said it best. It's 7 people that's their opportunity, honest to goodness, I'm going to take a turn on it. And I was thinking about it while that, thank you very much to that page for what they had to say there. We as little people don't get the opportunities others do. Something I joke about frequently is that I love the sport of basketball. Guess what? Didn't matter how hard I tried, I wasn't making the NBA.
Right.
I wasn't going to ever get that big, NBA contract, that chance to have that boxing title, that chance to win the WWE world title, all those big, big, big accomplishments. But yeah, you take away the opportunity for me to retell a story that's a childhood classic, to be a part of that. And not saying I had to be one of the 7, but my fellow brothers and sisters that are little people. Dennis, what? Go ahead, Dennis. Floor
No,
is
I
yours,
agree
buddy.
with you absolutely. We don't have very many employment opportunities in the acting world, and this was 7 opportunities that could have been taken by our fellow little
Yes, sir.
people. And so I just feel that that's it's just too bad that they didn't take the opportunity to promote, because we don't have the chance of having an Academy Award or an Oscar or anything like that very often. And this was 7 opportunities that could have been.
Jeff, you being a taller little person, though, what are your thoughts? I mean, in the whole aspect of no opportunity. Even I mean, I don't even feel the everyday little people community were even consulted and talked to on, well, do your feelings get hurt? I mean, is this controversial to you? You feel you're being cheated? Jeff, what are your thoughts, man?
I think in the whole, I mean, if they're so woke, they should have thought about, hurting their feelings. I mean, it seems like woke means, I mean about them, period. It don't mean anybody else. It means hurting their feelings, not anybody else's. I honestly think
I
that.
just, I think they said it best, like, to it it's gotten so out of hand that anything white cannot be white anymore.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
anything that can hurt somebody. Oh my goodness, it is so out of hand. I think that I can think of 100 little people that I know that could have done those 7 dwarfs and gave it so much justice.
Yeah.
And you know, Jiminy Christmas.
I
And
look
I can think of
forward
at
to
least
seeing the
200.
7 Dwarfs. That's
The
like the
CGI
main.
ones.
Right.
That's the main. That's the main part of the.
Yes, that's what in the classic. Yeah.
Yes, in the classic. I mean, and when I heard that it was coming out, I was like, oh, I wonder which little people they're going to cast. Is it going to be a newbie? Who?
But I don't get it. What I don't get is why all of a sudden has Hollywood turned their back on the little people community? Because the other day in a discussion with the movie Tiptoes, it was the same thing. The primary character was a gentleman by the name of Gary Oldman, who was a regular height man that they turned him into a little person. Why?
But it doesn't mean they can't hire little actors, little people.
They
actors.
should.
Yeah.
They really should.
Yeah.
If you really look at the little people community as a whole, and both my comrades in here chime in, as the little people as a whole, I would say the percentage is probably 60% minimum that are in the LA area with the hopes of making it big in some kind of movie or get that special role, because this is their NBA.
Right.
This is their NFL. This is our big hockey.
Yeah.
This is our Oscar. Okay. And you take it away.
That's understandable, but you also got to look at, this is not the first time they've done this. Look at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Look how many people they could have hired as Oompa Loompas.
That's a good.
Another great example. Real good example.
Mr. Phoenix.
I mean,
Good reference.
But in contrast to that, though, I mean, you remember the show in the Incredible Hulk, the TV show, The Incredible Hulk,
Yeah.
with Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk as Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Would you imagine? Could you imagine if they did the MCU with like say, just a big guy instead of a CGI Incredible Hulk?
I get that. I get
No,
what
but
you're saying
it's a little bit different context.
Shortcut.
A little bit different context, I think.
But see, the problem is this is actually going over somebody's career that could start to somebody just pushing buttons.
To our one shot of the big league. Our one shot of the big league.
Somebody pushing
there were
buttons.
7 shots at the big league, and we missed all 7.
Yeah, that definitely screwed a lot of people over doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just stings. It just stings.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, I
I
don't want to continue. Obviously, I want to wrap up our show on a good note, but to wrap the Snow White context of Hollywood, what are you doing? I mean, I think I would speak for all of us that really You know, again, we don't get the big opportunities. We don't get the NBA shot. We don't get the NFL shot. We're not, you know, whatever it be. You know, we're never going to win the gold medal in gymnastics.
No.
You know, I mean, come on. And it's one of those things that when you're born as a little person, our big dreams and goals of anything of stardom sort are limited. And things like this are one of them, you know, and you as Hollywood should be ashamed of yourself for taking that away from us. You know,
Can I
I don't
say-
know what Pappy's got for a life lesson on this, but I think it should be right up the alley of that. Go ahead, Shortcut,
Can I say it again?
sir.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Oh my God.
man.
You fell right into that. You knew he was
Well,
going
let's
to do it.
get bottom line is Snow White. I think they bombed. My own opinion. From everything I've reviewed of it right now, I was planning to get to actually watch it today, but
Poop
all
emoji.
the reviews I've seen of it, all of the clips that I've seen, I'm just not impressed. They tried too hard to. I think they tried too hard to please the woke community, and maybe I'm wrong, but they got to get away from that. So with that, you know, let's do a top shelf. It's gonna break.